something built in Africa, I think calling, I think solving a problem that is aligned with what you're truly meant to do in this world.
You've landed at the right place. Welcome to the Built in Africa podcast, where we connect trailblazers of the African diaspora through the unifying language of tech. In this episode, we connect with Jeph Acheampong, the founder of Blossom Academy. Let's get into it. We're all motivated and inspired by different things, with the goal to create 1 million analysts and match them with work by 2030. It is important to understand what inspired the creation of Blossom Academy. Listen as Jeph gives us some insight into his inspiration and uncomfortable realizations.
Came back teaching these orphans life skills through entrepreneurship. I remember this vividly. We're using this book called The Alchemist as our curriculum.
Great book.
Yeah, I love that book. Kind of really helping them understand and uncover their personal legend. But I learned the most fundamental lesson ever during that experience, which was that the only reason why I was in front of the class, and it wasn't the other way around, was because I had opportunity, right? An opportunity to go abroad for school, an opportunity to cultivate the right networks, an opportunity to raise money to come back. So that experience really touched me. And one of the recurring things I kind of heard from a lot of them were, they want to move abroad. They don't want to be in Ghana. They don't like Ghana. Some of them don't want to go to school because they feel like they won't get jobs anyway. But I didn't really pay much mind to it until I connected with one of my childhood friends who I went to middle school with in Ghana. And he was the smartest guy, right, in our school, the smartest, like every time, first place. But then this guy who had finished the university, skipped several grades, could not get a job. So that's what it was kind of like the initial kind of premise of like, why can't this guy, Peter, secure employment? And I know that he's the smartest guy that I've ever encountered.
We are all presented every day with problems which need to be solved. A good question to ask oneself is, why me? Why should I build this company? Why should I solve this problem? We asked Jeph this question. Why did he build Blossom Academy? And why was he the right person to address this problem?
IBM, I was also predicting that the demand for data scientists is going to soar by 28% by the year 2020. Right? So so number one, there's all the data being collected. Number two, there's a demand for data scientists. And number three, in Ghana, understanding that I came across this crazy fact, which was that 250,000 young people graduate every year in Ghana, but only 2%, right, find employment in the private sector. Only 2, right? Yeah. So seeing all this, these 3 points, it just made sense as to, really designing a solution to the problem. Now, why am I the right person to kind of undertake this? I'm very careful to say, I am the ultimate right person, right? Yeah. Because I think that there are other stakeholders, right, like the government, who would even play a tremendous role in solving this. But I like to say I'm a catalyst, right, to getting the conversation started and to getting people coming into the field to push, to push the boundaries further.
In order to build anything great, strategic planning must be done. Blueprints usually work when they're followed correctly. Of course, there are extra steps and the process can get intricate, but we must stick to the plan. Jeph speaks on the high-level steps of approaching the journey into data science.
There are 3 steps, right? When I think of the data science landscape, there's clearly more steps, but like 3, I've grouped it into 3. So there is the, especially, and I'm speaking about it in the context of Africa. So it could be very different in region. So I think of it as number one, data gathering, number two, the analytics, and number three, the insights, right? So the data gathering is essentially, going into a business and building software or systems to help them gather their data better. The data could be in silos, helping them get it into one place. You can actually do number two, which is perform analytics on it. They could be building a machine learning model, it could be building a data pipeline for them, right? Then number three is how do you actually communicate these insights to a CEO, right? I think number one and number three are the most critical aspects of any data science career on the African continent, based on my experience. Because number two, which is the analytics, you start to see that people are starting to build software to analyze data. People are starting to build software to build machine learning models. But to actually gather the data, right, it requires some human intervention. To actually communicate the data, it requires human intervention as well. So what I'm always telling my team is that the hard skills will get you into the door, but the soft skills will keep you in there. And soft skills is that communication aspect. Soft skills is, being smart enough to know where you can actually gather this data from, right? Critical thinking, right? So I think it's imperative for data scientists on the African continent to master those two, gather data better and understand how to communicate the data even more proficiently than any software or tool can.
And that's it for this episode. If you haven't already, be sure to check out the full article on our website, builtinafrica.io, found in the description. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to our email list so we may keep you updated with the latest. And until next time, keep building.